Hello everyone, my name is Julia Aegis and welcome to episode 5 of The Current. This episode we have one of the most successful TikTok creators in the Wilmington area. And get this, he just so happens to be a recent UNCW alum as of December and a Wilmington local. Jonny Morales is currently pursuing a full-time career as a content creator. We've got some great questions prepared for him about his journey so far and can't wait for you guys to get to know him too. Let's dive into this episode of The Current.
Hey everybody, my name is Jarrett Wentz. Thanks for tuning into The Current. Today I'm joined here with my good friend Jonny Morales. How are you feeling today, man?
Feel pretty good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
So today we just got a couple questions, just a quick little interview. So how did you get started with TikTok?
Oh man, okay, yeah. So, TikTok I feel like kind of came into the picture 4 years ago. So I mean, just like anyone else. So in 2019, TikTok is definitely not what it is today. I remember specifically my fiance's little sister. She was on it and she was like, that's all she raved about was like TikTok. And she like got us to download it. And the first like couple days was us like watching her videos and like making fun of her and like, you know, enjoying like just having like asking her like, why did you make that? Or like, what's that dance you're doing?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, like a couple days later, like, you know, I'm not just making fun of her. I'm like actually scrolling on the app and like actually watching videos. And next thing you know, like you're like consumed by it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I feel like TikTok was such a natural like platform to like get involved into because I feel like growing up, I've always just like been involved with just like entertainment in that way. So like YouTube was like the thing that I grew up with. Like before iPad kids were a thing, I was an iPad kid with like YouTube. So like I would watch on like whatever like device I could and like spend hours just like watching like my favorite creators. It was always something I like did like in school. Professors would always ask me teachers would always ask like to do projects, and I was always the kid that like begged my teachers to let me like make a video for the project.
Oh, can I do a video for it? Yeah.
But it's always been something that has been a part of my life, and so TikTok was just a platform that kind of helped, I think, like nurture that creativity.
Right, and I feel like with TikTok and YouTube, like there's so many different avenues to go, and I think that you have a unique sense of like your content and what you create with like your culture. How did like your upbringing how did you decide what you wanted to start filming? Yeah,
definitely. So I think first things first. I mean, I'm born and raised in Wilmington. I went to school here, and like predominantly like growing up, like most of my friends, grew up in, I mean, for lack of better terms, it was American culture. And like I grew up in a Hispanic household or Mexican household. Yeah. And I like growing up saw a lot of that, just like back and forth of like differences. And like kind of the way I saw that was if my friends ever wanted to have a sleepover, I would like beg my mom. I was like, can I please go? And she'd be like, absolutely not. Like you have to be back home by 7 p.m. Dang. No sleepovers. Like only with your cousins. And I don't even have cousins. It would always be people that like were like just close family friends.
The family friends, yeah.
It would always have to be with them. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the content I started creating kind of revolved around that like dynamic. It's just been kind of like what it's been like growing up Hispanic, and I think it's evolved over the years. Like, I mean, there's 4 years worth of random videos that I've made, and it's definitely evolved into just capturing stories that I feel like I'm interested in. But I think there is that it was rooted in just like taking differences and seeing how you can bring people together through those differences.
Yeah.
Like for example, my fiance, when I started dating her, she did not know any Spanish. Mm-hmm. And honestly, she still only knows, as a small percentage from what she's picked up spending time with me. But my mom also hardly knew any English. And so when they were together in a room, there was always that language barrier.
Wow.
And during that time, it was always fun though. It was always like a joyful time, like them spending time together and like trying to understand each other. And I would always like translate for them and like try to get them to understand each other. And I always found ourselves like laughing through that, even if like you had no idea what the other person was saying, or if you were like trying to teach them, like my mom was trying to teach my fiance like a bad word or something.
Yeah.
It'd always be just really funny. And so some of the first videos I ever made kind of like captured those moments, like I would literally pull out my phone and start recording those interactions without them like knowing. And so yeah, I think that definitely plays a lot into just like the stories that I like making, because I mean I don't want to forget like my background or like where I came from, but I think that you shouldn't stop there. You should always kind of take like your background and then find a way to share it with other people to be able to connect.
Right.
It wouldn't make sense to kind of like, I don't know if gatekeeping is the right word, or like protecting like what I know and not want to share it with others. I definitely feel led to share just like things that I love and things that I grew up with other people.
I like what you said about like you just took out your phone and started filming. Like that, I feel like that's what your content seems like. It just seems very genuine. Like there's a lot of people today that you can tell is like kind of faked for like the views or whatever. Like why do you think that you decided to start doing that, just like film those like kind of interactions and not keep it like private? Like it seems very genuine.
I mean, capturing moments has always been like something I've just loved to do, whether it was in ways when I was growing up in school or just at home, like film it. Like I remember when Hunger Games like came out in theaters, I would get my neighbors to like come out and we'd like film like the Hunger Games, but then in terms of like capturing those moments, I mean it was just one of those things where it was just like such a sweet moment. But when it came to posting it, I deliberately remember telling Anna Claire, my fiance, this is like no one's gonna get this video because no one on TikTok is posting like video, because one of the first videos I ever posted was like my mom was speaking Spanish, and it was like a joke that she made in Spanish that like if you spoke English and had no background in Spanish, you would not get.
Right.
But if you kind of like, could pick up on some Spanish words, like it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
One of my pet peeves is like explaining some of my past videos or like trends because I'm so bad at it. But basically in those videos, like I posted it and I thought maybe like 10 people would get it. Like I thought 10 people would maybe think it was funny and then move on. And then the next thing you know, I found that I think that first video that I posted that got traction, I think it got like 2 million views by the end of the night. And then the next morning, like 3 or 4 million views. And that's when I realized like there is a way bigger community of people who can relate to something like that, something like, Spanish or language, or just like connecting with people who have, those cultural differences from you.
Yeah.
But I would say that's how it started. But I think in terms of like people who like produce videos and maybe have like scripts or like, I just feel like, there's so many different ways of like capturing a story.
Exactly.
And I would definitely say like, there's nothing wrong with like scripting or making videos that, you're setting it up. I mean, because like even something like this, like there's thought put into it, and like there's a production put behind, and time like figuring out how it's gonna go. It's all about like what is the story you're trying to tell, and are you being honest with your audience and what you're capturing?
Yeah. I would say you do an incredible job of doing that in your videos. But from that, like when you just started posting them for fun, and then now you have like things like brand deals, and videos that like more so you have to follow guidelines. Like what's the difference in those two, like from when you first started to like now?
So brand deals weren't a thing for me for like about a year, which I'm very grateful for, because I really got to figure out like the content that I create, like the content I was creating, I got a really good grasp on it. But then afterwards, once I got reached out to partner with a brand, it's interesting because they give you like guidelines on things that they want you to say. Like some brands are more specific than others. Other brands are like, look, we just love who you are, and like just do whatever you want, as long as it's clear that we're the ones sponsoring you're working with. But I think, you can be as selective as you want with the brands you want to work with. Like I only work with brands that do like if it's a brand that I don't feel like represents what I believe well, then I don't think it's worth, stepping into that. Otherwise, I think if you do have an audience that trusts you, they're gonna see right through that. Like they're gonna see like, oh, why are you supporting this brand, or like why are you like, sharing this? If like I wouldn't promote something that I know my audience doesn't like.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the creativity of the videos, I've had really good experiences like making the content for ads. I think the ultimate goal is to always put as much creativity as I do into those videos as I do my actual content, because again, like an audience can tell when it's an advertisement. Like it's not unclear when it's an ad. If anything though, like some of my favorite comments on those videos are the ones that are like, dang, I just sat here and watched the whole ad. But like what they mean by that is like they enjoyed watching it. They knew it was an ad, but like it was still worth their time, I guess. And I think there's like a sense of respect of like, I hope most people know that like creators, if that's like what they're spending a lot of their time and energy into, then brand deals are just like an aspect to help fuel that in ways like financially, like the time and the resources that you put into videos, it helps give you better content. And so you definitely want to build a trust with your audience first and keep that trust by only promoting things that you care about and ultimately your audience cares about.
For sure. And like with that stuff, was there any experiences at UNCW that like helped like change your content or like help guide you in that process? Yeah.
Funny enough, I know you guys interviewed Michelle Britt in one of your episodes, and I like thinking about that a lot. I actually think about that pretty regularly. Because when I go back into my videos, she actually ended up being in one of my first like few videos that I did like really randomly. Yeah. But when I first started TikTok, that was actually my first semester in her class. And so what I found like in those classes, or in that class specifically, was that she was like teaching. She was teaching an English class with such a different like teaching style than you would find in any of my other classes. Yeah. And so that's basically exactly what I needed during that time. To like help foster just like a sense of just like freedom in like what I'm creating. And so I would shout her out specifically, but also like other classes I was taking. I think a lot of just professors here at UNCW were really open to allowing me to like use, like my creativity, whether it's in video or just like in projects, and showcase it. Like I think even in my uni class, one of the final projects, I got to make a video for the final project. And so it's just little moments like that where it's like, if you're letting me step into something I care about and like really enjoy doing, I'm gonna give you good work. Right. And apply like what you're teaching me into it.
So for anybody that like would want to start making content or doing like things similar to you, would you have any advice for like not listening to other people? Because I feel like it's like, oh, like you're just a normal person, like why should I watch your videos?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that ultimately, like when you're creating, you have to ask yourself why you're creating in the first place. Like if you're just creating to like, it's all the intention behind the stories that you want to tell. So I would say first things first is figure out why you want to create. Like if you're creating because you actually enjoy it and there's stories that you're like ready to tell, you're not going to focus on hateful comments to begin with. Like, there has to be a sense of like you have to look at like the reality of what people are saying. Like if people are just being hateful because like if hate is like someone saying like that's dumb, or like that's not me, or like that's not true, like it's like there's no substance to that. Like there's no like real criticism or constructive criticism to those comments. But if you're like sharing something, and naturally it will offer people a space to respond and comment something that is criticism, but still something that you should listen to and apply, like you'll kind of find a relationship with like the content you're putting out and the feedback you're getting. I really do think that the people that get like hateful comments are people that offer like a space to invite that into, if it's not portrayed in a way where they're considering the fact that this is going to like ruffle feathers, if that makes sense. But again, I'm only speaking from my perspective on like the content I make. I know there's different types of creators that post different types of content. But again, maybe like my final piece of advice on that would be engagement is really helpful overall. And if like people are like commenting things that are not really kind or like helpful, like them commenting, them spending time on your video is ultimately helping your video. And that oddly enough kind of helped me realize like, so what if like people are like little kids that are like saying things that are irrelevant, like that does help my video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of controversy, TikTok can be a controversial like app or platform, and there's been like rumors that it might get banned in the US. So if it were to get banned, do you have like a plan for that?
Yeah, so so that rumor, there was one similar to that like several years ago.
Yeah.
And basically the same approach that like I personally took then was, at the end of the day, like you should never have all your eggs in one basket. Like again, speaking from my personal experience, I create because I enjoy it. And TikTok just happened to be the platform that like really fostered that creativity and like posting on it. And so like if TikTok were to get banned and if I actually cared about creating, I'm going to find other ways to do it, whether it's going to another platform or just like stepping into spaces where, I mean, there's creativity beyond just social media. I think that I was already going to do that anyway. But now that this is a current conversation and circumstances look a little differently, I really do think it goes the same way. Like I don't just post on TikTok. I am posting on Instagram, now YouTube, and those are spaces that I also really enjoy. And they look so differently, but I find that they boost my creativity in different ways that TikTok might not be able to.
Right.
TikTok will always be the platform that I am grateful for and like will always just share with others because I've just really appreciate the experience I've had and the opportunities that have come from it. But if it were to get banned, then I mean, I wouldn't say that I fear what would happen next, but rather I'm in a season of preparation for if it were to get banned, then yeah, I'll find the next steps. But I don't think I'm in a place right now where I'm like freaking out where it's like, and I know if there's creators that are only posting on TikTok, I can see how that could be a concern.
Right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like social media is always evolving and changing. And I mean, people, I think of like Vine that got removed. And honestly, oddly enough, like a lot of the creators that were popular then found ways to continue now on other platforms because people remembered those videos and people like still go on YouTube and like look up Vines and like remember those like 6-second, videos that like made a difference, like that they watched in their childhood and, made them laugh time and time again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in the same way, I'm not concerned. It's just more, I should be prepared to step into the next thing if it were to get banned.
Right. I definitely think with like your work ethic, you'd be able to find different avenues or platforms where you'd be successful on. So as we wrap up our time here, I have more of like a fun question for you. Who's like someone famous that you've met, or has there ever been like a time you've been like starstruck when you've met someone famous?
I think before I answer that, I think that question's so interesting because like starstruck, I found that like, I mean, there always will be people who will not understand why you're starstruck by one thing. Like, I think it's just like when you're so connected to something and you like spend so much time watching someone, being starstruck looks so differently. And so the reason I say that is like, I mean, I've had experiences where I've been invited to events where I'll spend like a lot of time in groups or like get to run into people who are notable and like a lot of people do like spend a lot of time watching. I think some of the ones that stand out to me though are actually like the ones that are like so random, like why am I running into you right now?
Yeah.
Like one time I got invited to a Disney event and they like brought a group of us like through the park and one of the guys that was in there was the guy who played Zero in Holes. His name's Cleo Thomas. Wow. And like that whole time I was like it was just such a cool like full circle, like that's a movie I watch all the time, like, and then we're like riding a ride we're riding a roller coaster together.
Yeah, like you watch it growing up and then now you're like with him on a ride.
Yeah, or like that same event. I think she was from High School Musical. Her name's Casey Stroh. I think she plays like, I don't know if it's like Martha or something. I think, but anyway, she's like on High School Musical, and I got to go with Anna Claire on that trip, and that was like she like recognized her immediately. But those are like random people that I'm like like they're still get to like do their thing, but it's just like, oh, that's cool because they're like someone I watched for hours. Like,
yeah.
But then like I did run into Mr. Beast at an event at
No
VidCon.
way.
And so with that, it's like I think starstruck gets like portrayed differently. It's not more like, oh my gosh, it's Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
It's more of like a sense of respect and a sense of like that guy knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be unfair for like I think anyone to just like start like not like have opinions that don't tap into like all the work that he puts into. Like I like respect him so much as a creator, and the fact that he's in North Carolina, like I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that where I'm like, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, dude, thanks for coming on and answering the questions. Now let's roll over to Julia.
Thanks, Jarrett. Have you ever thought about creating film or producing TV content? Well, whether you want to be in front or behind the camera, there's a place for you. UNCW provides 2 different majors that may pique your interest. The Comm Studies department consists of classes in studio and field production, where you can even learn how to produce documentaries or episodes like this. The film department offers over 60 courses for undergraduates, where you learn history and styles of film that support your passions. Learn more about these programs at the links below. Back to you, Jarrett.
Thanks, Julia. So Jonny, as fans ourselves, we have indulged in some of the earlier videos you have created. There was one trend in particular that we wanted to involve you in. You got any idea what we're talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we have a quick video to show you guys.
Yes or no?
Yes. Oh, mangonada! And a spicy stick too. I just found myself a new boyfriend. Chamoy.
Yes or no?
Yes. This is it's Spanish for turtle. What is it? Torta. Look at that. Delicioso.
Now it's your turn in the hot seat. We have brought some things we think you'd like and maybe what you might not like. If you say yes to whatever's in the box, you can walk away with it. You say no, we keep it for ourselves. You think you could do that?
Let's do it. I'm excited. I feel like I always make people do this, and I've never done it myself. So.
All right. Well, let's get started.
All right. I feel like it's only right for me to say yes for the first one. I'm gonna go with yes.
All right. All right. Let's see what we got. Hey.
Thank God. For the first one, I'll just take a bite.
Okay.
Thank you for this Rice Krispie treat.
Of course. I'm good. I appreciate it. So now we're going to bring in the next item.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I didn't even. I didn't see it.
All right. Round 2. What's the choice?
I'm going to go with no. Just because I'm enjoying my last Rice Krispie treat, and
Yeah.
I'll say no just in case.
All right, no. So let's see what we got.
Oh
Ooh.
God, I'm so glad I said that. Baby food.
Ooh, not it.
I feel like I've been doing this for so long. I just know, and I can sense like
can
when
tell.
the food is gonna be like not it.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad.
All right, round 2, no. We got round 3 coming up. All right, we're good.
Okay.
What are you feeling?
I'm gonna go with yes. I don't want to be such a baby during
Right,
this. So,
right.
I mean, I know you guys gave me baby food, but I'm gonna go with yes on this one.
All right, let's see. Hey!
Oh my God, dude, I'm killing it right.
Let's go.
I'll take a sip.
All right. Not baby food. Let's go.
I haven't worked with Starbucks yet, but might be in the works.
All right, so doing good so far. Missed out on the baby food, got Rice Krispies. So now we got round 4. All right, it's in the box.
See, I have such FOMO, and so anytime I say no, I'm like, I'm gonna go with yes again. On
Yes
this one.
again?
Yeah.
All right.
See, yeah, dude. These, you could not find me without one of these in my lunchbox.
The Go-Go
Growing up.
Squeeze. Pretty solid.
I will say, Rice Krispie treats, Starbucks, and applesauce back to back is like
It's weird.
weird palate.
It's a weird
Yeah.
taste. All right. So for this round, don't know what it is.
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I feel like I've been living life on the edge the last several minutes, so.
All right. Well, let's see what we got for this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is the second to last one.
All right.
And
Okay. All right. So we got the second to last one in the box. You can open your eyes now.
Okay. I feel like it's been some time since we've gotten something as scary as baby food, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go with no this
No?
time. Yeah.
All right. Oh, the fruit snacks, dude.
I wanted that, bro.
The fruit snacks are so good.
I needed some sweet after the. I mean, I guess applesauce is sweet, but
a little
anyway,
bit.
that
A little
would have
bit.
been nice.
Yeah, the fruit snacks are good. So this is the final round.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh. Is this all food, or is there some money in some of these?
All food.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, yeah. All right, it's in the box.
All right, I feel like for the finale, I have to say yes.
Yeah?
I'd like to say yes. Yeah.
All right. Ooh.
You're joking.
What in the? Do I have to eat this now? Oh man. Okay, wait. So hold on. Sardines. If I open this, oh, how about this? I'll eat one if you eat one with me.
All right, all right.
I
all right.
bet,
Yeah,
okay.
let's do it.
Oh God.
I've never had
I don't think I've ever had
I
sardines.
haven't either.
There needs to be a trash can on standby. I feel like.
Right. Oh, dude. Oh my god.
I don't know if I can do this, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Wow, that smells rough. Okay.
Okay, this is fishy.
Let's
It's actually not.
Let's get one and like.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll
you want
do
to
it.
get? Yeah, you want to serve me?
Ew. All right.
I'm gonna have this open just in case.
All right. Dude, little baby piece. Little
All right,
baby
I can do
piece.
that. I can do that.
All right.
I can do that.
And then
I don't know if I've had sardines.
I haven't either.
All right, ready?
3, 2, 1. It's not as good as fruit snacks.
Or the Starbucks drink.
Dang.
Very fishy.
Very fishy. Well, Johnny, even though you had to eat sardines, I want to say thank you so much for playing with us and being here today. We've had such a blast. Anything you want to add or plug for us today?
No, thank you so much for having me. I mean, thank you for watching the videos
Of
and making me
course.
do something I always make people do. So.
Yeah, dude, it's been such a great time. Well, guys, give Johnny Morales a follow on his socials. Now we'll send it back to Julia to wrap us up.
Thanks, Jarrett. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode of The Current. Don't forget to follow Johnny on his social media platforms and support a local creator. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Current, and we'll see you next week.